right. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. You're listening to WSDH Live on 91.5. My name is Jay McGrail, and I'm the chair of the Sandwich School Committee. So today in the studio, we have another record for a number of people. I think we have a couple guys that were here last week with us when we did the tech crew. Today we have the Robotics Club from the STEM Academy and the high school. So thanks, you guys, for coming.
Hello.
Thank you very much.
Hi.
We have a really good group. I have a lot of exciting things going on. I got awards. I got robots on the table here. I got a bunch of really enthusiastic students that are part of the Robotics Club. So what I'd like to do to start off before we get into what's going on the table is just have each of you guys go around, introduce yourself, and tell me a little bit about what made you want to join the Robotics Club. Like what sparked this interest? Why don't we start with you?
Okay, my name is Ethan. I am in 8th grade.
Ethan, what's your last name?
My name's Hallis.
All right.
Last name's Hallis, Ethan Hallis. And I really wanted to join Robotics Club because I've always had an interest in computers and programming, and I realized I could put those skills to use and really work hard with a team.
Cool. All right. What about you?
I'm Ryan Egan, and I'm in 7th grade. I really just like participating on teams. I really like the participating of mechanics and how things move.
Yeah.
And I really just like what this whole team has come up with and what we really do for fun.
My name is Riley Fortin, and I'm in 7th grade. And I've always had an interest for building and designing robots, so hey, join the robotics team.
That seems to make sense.
Hi, my name's Nicholas Alvarez, and why I joined the robotics team is because I've always loved engineering, and that's what you can do in Robotics Club is do engineering.
It's a good reason to join.
My name is Taylor Hoxie. I'm in grade 9. The reason why I chose to go to the Robotics Club was just because the idea interests me, and I really liked the teacher that was in charge of us, so.
Another good reason to join. Can't see you over there.
I'm William Scott, and I joined Robotics because I really like building, and because when I'm older I want to become an engineer.
More engineering.
My name's Tiernan O'Kane, and I'm in 7th grade, and I just wanted to join robotics because I've always been into like technology and computers and coding, and that's what all this is about, so I liked it.
I'm Sam Hoffman. I'm in 7th grade. I joined the robotics team because I like coding and I want to work more on my JavaScript and Python.
My name is Ray Milburn, and I'm in 7th grade, and I joined the Robotics Club because I saw them in competition last year, and I really thought, wow, I want to do this. And I just really enjoy building robots, and I am very, very competitive. And so I love putting all of this effort into something that I create that can then win something, which is fun.
That's cool. That's true. So you guys get to compete. So people at home may not understand that we have a robotics club, but it's also like a team.
Yeah.
You guys go to competitions and compete. I want you to tell me a little bit about some of the competitions.
So we had a scrimmage earlier this year, which we actually won the scrimmage. The sandwich team did, which we thought that was pretty cool. Basically, we go in, and there's a separate challenge each year. This year we had to pick up these things called stars and throw them over a fence. The team with the most stars on their side lost. So the object was to clear the stars off your field. And so it's kind of like a bracket. You face off 2 robots against 2 robots, and you keep on advancing your way up until you win.
How many teams were there that day competing?
There were a lot. I think there was 15 maybe?
I thought it was
26.
26 different schools competing?
Like 26 different teams.
All right.
Each school can have multiple teams. Like we had 3 teams.
All right, so explain that to me a little bit. Why don't you explain? So it's a club, but there's teams inside of the club. Explain that to us.
Yeah, because we really make several robots, because one team can't just make one robot. It would be too overcomplicated, and everybody wouldn't have a job. So if one person had a team, and if one person did it alone, we wouldn't have enough materials, first of all, or enough time. But if we had, say, 4 or 5 members, we could get it done with at least enough time to do the competition, and we'd have enough parts for everybody to share.
Nice. So how many teams does your club have altogether?
We had 3. We had Ray's team, we had Ethan's team, we had my team.
Nice. And how many people are on each team?
Around 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Okay, there's also my team, but we didn't really have a robot ready for the competition because we are throwing behind due to having very few people on our team compared to everyone else, and for the most part, people just didn't show up. and we have been working on a already completed mate ROV for that situation. We're
Nice.
done with it, but we are having to improve it to make it better, such as adding the hook and improving the camera.
So tell us a little bit about the mate competition. So what does that entail? I came last year and saw the underwater portion of it. Is it always in pools? Is the mate
Yes.
competition always in pools?
Yes, it's always in pools because it's supposed to be an underwater robotics. You need to put the ROV in and try to do several challenges to try to show how good your robot is. I think someone might be able to explain it better.
Yeah. So last year I saw when I came last year to the mate competition that we had in the pool here, and I brought my father-in-law. My father-in-law is a mechanical engineer, and I heard a lot of you guys talking about wanting to be engineers. And I'll tell you, he's almost 70 years old. He's looking at retirement, and he absolutely loved the competition. You could see it in he had the same look that you guys have when you're talking about it. Like he was just all in with it. So it is definitely for you guys a potential career path in engineering. It's definitely a good job too. I mean, he's done really well. He does cell phone amplifiers, so you never know where this type of work can take you guys. So all right, so tell me a little bit about the. So does everyone do the mate?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
mate
if
group
you want
too.
to, if
So
you
is that the next competition that's coming up?
May
Yes.
6th.
May 6th.
May 6th. So
May
who's got a robot? Are all 4 teams going to be there competing with that?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah, they're
Unless someone can't finish their robot, but otherwise.
Yeah.
I think
we're still building
No,
up.
So-
we could-
Do you know what the challenge is already? Is it prior
Yeah.
to the event? You know what the
Yeah.
challenge will be?
They're posted on a PDF file they put out every year.
Cool. So why don't you tell me a little bit
Well,
about it?
There's 3 different I forget if they're leagues or like different levels that you can enter for the mate. So there's Scout, Ranger, and an Explorer, and each level you get up, it's like the challenge is harder and harder. So for the Ranger, you have to like install pieces of PVC pipe and put them around other things. I'm not quite sure what the Scout one is, but each one the task gets harder and harder. And you
I
have
think
to-
that all of them have the exact same
Challenge?
challenge
Yeah.
types.
Maybe more complicated as they get into the
Yeah.
different classes?
I think the Ranger is actually deeper underwater, while the Scout's like right at the surface almost.
Well, that's cool. So you guys looking forward to it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really
Is everyone hoping to compete in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges? Why don't you tell me about some of the challenges associated with it? I saw a robot like light on fire in the pool last year. Does that type of thing happen very often? It looked like it short circuited.
I would not know. I have not gone to any challenges.
Okay. Has anybody else? Yeah.
The real problem is when you're building these, you have the design in your mind, but it doesn't always come out. Like you might think like, ooh, this might help with the stability, but it might not help with the stability. It might make it harder. You don't really know until you test it and test it again. And there's the whole electrical side of things because electricity and water, most people
Yeah.
know they don't mix very well. So you have to make sure everything's waterproofed, nothing will short circuit and catch on fire.
It's really cool, and it did. I mean, I saw one last year that was, it wasn't a fire per se, but it definitely short circuited under the water there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what's going on up here. We got an award. What's the VEX Robotics Competition
I
Award?
see the reward. So this was won by a team of, I believe, it was Tiernan, Nick, Max, who isn't here, Liam, and I. Is that all of us? And so we went to competition, and this was the qualifying round where we went off against a ton of pretty good high school teams. We went as far as we could in the beginning qualifiers, and then after lunch we had basically an alliance picking
playoff game.
playoff kind of thing, and that decided who moved on and who didn't. It was, I have to say, we would probably all agree that the system wasn't the best.
Yeah.
We ended up not being in a winning alliance.
Yeah, because like the first place played the second place team.
Yeah.
It was very hiccupy, but this award was won for the judge's overall favorite robot.
Nice.
The robot isn't here.
Well, congratulations on the
Right,
award
Um,
anyway.
It was, I guess, for a very specific feature we had on the robot here.
But in
Yeah, sure.
the scrimmage for the Vex tournament, we actually won
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
All of the
The-
sandwich teams.
In the scrimmage, the sandwich teams won, but in the qualifiers we lost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. You can't win them all. That's
Yeah.
why it's competitive, you know. So you guys keep working on it. So what is this? Who wants to tell me a little bit about this? You haven't
right.
spoken up.
This is mine,
This is
but-
yours. All right.
So basically, I used an example from online, but because I had a week left to design this, and I still had to program it with help of Tiernan here to get it playing for the competition. Now, basically, we used a forklift to throw the stars over a fence that was around, 2 feet high?
Yeah, 2 feet high, and then it was higher sections on each side.
So that's this here. Oh, I don't want to break it.
No, it's fine. You can
Yeah,
taste
you
it.
can
Do you want
It's
to try
like-
controlling it?
Nah, I think that would take a while.
I could turn it on right now.
But
No,
yeah.
it's wired.
While he's turning it on. There we go.
Wow, look at that.
And really, we just used this to. There were some
To
stars.
throw them?
Yeah.
To throw the
Yeah.
stars? That is really cool.
Yeah.
So each one of you guys would have one of these, or each team has
team.
one? Each team has one.
Each team would start at the beginning, they design it, and then they build it, and then they program it.
Well, I'll tell you, you guys are pretty impressive. This is pretty neat that we do this. I tell you, when I sit back and think about when my daughters are old enough to go to the STEM Academy at Sandwich High School, I could definitely see this being something that they're into. They really enjoy building stuff at home. So
There's not really a lot of female members of the club, which sort of saddens me. So
we need girls.
I think
If
we
anyone's
go for
listening,
something that'd be good.
we need how many girls? You said there's you and 2 others.
Yes. and
So we
that's
need more girls
8 compared to like the 28 boys.
compared to the 28 boys. So so about 30 all together in your club.
Well,
yeah, about.
About roughly
yeah,
30.
Like 30.
Yeah. So Mrs. Lavelle is the teacher that runs the club.
Yeah, and there's somebody else who comes over and helps too. though I don't
Mr.
know.
Fenton?
Mr. Fenton.
Yeah.
So Mrs. Lavelle works really hard behind the scenes to keep you guys heading in the right direction with the robotics
Without
club.
her, this would be a totally different club. It'd be.
Well, we're blessed to have teachers
Yeah.
like that. All right. Well, that's about all the time we have. Does anyone want to say anything before we sign off? Nothing that jumps
give us
out.
money.
Yes.
Give us funding.
Yeah.
Give us money, we need PVC pipes, and we're gonna use some custom ink to get us some t-shirts for next year.
Yes, we are actually planning to have a couple of fundraisers this summer
Yeah.
and in the spring if we can.
Car wash.
Probably a car wash. We are trying to raise funds, in particular for one encounter we had at the VEX competition. There was a team who had several sponsors and
Yeah.
a couple $1,000s to spend
Yeah.
on VEX Robotics.
Oh, I think
And
we
they
can
had
help you
this
guys.
Crazy
Hydraulic.
elaborate robot that had hydraulic
Pneumatic
pistons,
Yes.
and they were
Double
throwing
controllers.
stars
Yeah.
20 feet. Well, not really, but
It's so cool to
I'd say it
see.
was crazy.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see how much you guys love this.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
It's a
to
great
see.
hobby.
So
It's
make
really
sure when
fun.
you know the details of any events that you have to raise money this summer, you let me know. Have your parents reach out to me, and we'll advertise them as best as we can
Thank
to
you.
get the word out. All right, so this is Jay McGrail signing off for WSDH Live.
WSDH Live is recorded at WSDH Studios in Sandwich, Massachusetts. We are executive produced by Paula Johnson with podcast production by Ryan Hill. He also made the music. Remember to check out WSDH on TuneIn.com and the TuneIn app for more great content. As always, thank you for supporting Sandwich Community Radio. We'll catch you next time.